Hello and welcome to our F1 podcast. That's right, it's me, Hugh. I've put myself as Enzo there for a laugh. And of course, my very good friend and co commentator is Simon Jerry. How are you, Simon? It's good to see you.
Not too bad, are you?
Very well. Yes, very well indeed. And I'm very excited about talking about the new Formula One season and all the things. I think we've got some good disagreements coming up. And we've got Rue, who will be joining us in a little while, and we've got Max Garrett, our first viewer of the evening. Welcome along, Max. It's great to see you. I do hope you are
Oi, oi,
well.
Max. Oi, oi.
Yes, it's great to see you. That says we've even got technology that means that our comments now come up on screen, which is super. So yes, we are here to talk about the new Formula One season. And I think it was actually quite good. Well, see, I'm a Ferrari fan, so when I suddenly see the Ferraris look reasonable or look like they might get somewhere, and seeing Lewis a bit more upbeat, I'm thinking, yes, go on, we need to see those red cars do well. It's very good when the Ferraris have a chance of pulling something off. But I mean, it's a massive variety of cars and performances. Simon, what did you think of the first Formula One race?
Let me be honest. I only saw highlights because obviously I'm not going to keep paying that every time for Sky.
Yeah,
But even with the highlights, I just thought I found the start a little bit dangerous. I thought I was a bit concerned. It almost reminded me of like what went wrong for poor Ronnie Peterson in '78, where there were cars going so much faster at the back of the grid at the front, so they were all like congealing.
yeah,
There was a couple of very near misses. People going into the back of each other, and that's the sort of worst thing you want, slamming into the back.
yeah, yeah,
And I just hope, because that was a tight track, that's what, the wider tracks, I'd worry about Monaco, somewhere like that.
yeah,
And yeah, and obviously at Albert Park, probably one of the most, shall we say, I know, flat out corners, or it should be interesting, is a point where they're lifting their foot off the accelerator pedal.
yeah,
Which is a bit of a shame, just to harvest energy.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a bit of an odd. These engine regulations are a little bit odd. Whether they're and you got drivers complaining about, but then again, it's only drivers complaining about them who aren't at the front, I suppose.
yeah,
But
yeah,
we'll see. But then again, if we use Max as an example, I do think he's got the pace to be living with the front lot anyway.
yeah,
So I just don't think like I said, they're just not enjoying it. I mean, but I don't know. Yeah, for me, it's not a sport
yeah,
anymore. They're now trying. It's almost like I said to you earlier, Formula E on speed, or watching IndyCar like an oval where it's changing all the while.
yeah, yeah,
And you shouldn't really get that on a circuit, on a track, and not. You understand it on ovals because you're constantly drafting,
yeah,
but not. It just doesn't seem. I know they got rid of DRS and everything, haven't they?
yeah,
That's
yeah. They have.
gone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So, but now, I mean, this battery thing is even more of a thing that they just breeze past even more than DRS. It makes
yeah,
it look even more like there's no skill involved.
yeah,
Even more so than, I mean, I didn't like DRS particularly,
yeah,
or
mhm,
I always thought the wing opened too much, especially on
yeah,
certain tracks. I always thought they would have been good to adjust that on certain tracks where, for your Spas and Monzas, we only opened a little bit. But
yeah,
no, I did feel that, it looks a little bit. And then you look at some of the defensive moves. Well, they're getting quite aggressive,
yeah,
but
yeah,
as soon as their light starts flashing, the car right behind. If they move too late, again, it was lucky there was no real nasty accidents. And you can
yeah,
see it happening. I hope it doesn't, but it's the first race. I suppose we'll just have to see how it goes
yeah. Because
before we
even
make any.
because even towards the middle of the race, they began to start getting used to where they can use their battery and then where they need to defend. So because at first, they were swapping places all the time, and then it got a bit quieter, when they realised that they were gonna, they could defend properly. But as you see, there were some late moves, and it was quite. It's interesting, and it's that big question of, is it just a matter of overtaking, or is it the quality of the overtakes that really counts in Formula One? Because you can easily do things to help you overtake. But is it going to be? Is it the spectacle or the?
We
the
remember, don't we,
driver?
Hugh, from the 80s and 90s? A driver would have to set it up, and we can use Mansell and PK in '87 at Silverstone as an example. Yes, Mansell was a lot quicker, but PK only had to defend the inside, and he would have won. But Mansell dummied him. Went to the outside and PK fell for it, and then Mansell went straight on the inside again setting someone up. Or, I remember when 91 at Monza, Mansell was constantly trying to get past Senna, and he couldn't do it. He let Patrese go past. He let his tyres cool off, let the temperatures go down, and Patrese showed him the way through. And then he suddenly thought, that's how to do it. He came along and then passed him as well. So, it's these sort of things, just working out the ways to do it instead of just pushing on a battery and go, bye, breeze past, And to me, it's just it's just a little bit manufactured in a way. Just takes a little bit of the, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? Well, you know what they're going to do now. There's only one way they're going to do it, by pushing a button. And I know we had it with turbos years ago, but even then, there was a bit more cat and mouse about it. Which now, this is just, it's constant in every lap. Where, like I say, you could get 4 overtakes between the two same drivers on the same lap, which seems it's almost comical. But then again, like I say, that's what Max is saying. It's almost like playing F1 on PlayStation. Not really a race, but we'll see. It might just be, we always complain about new things sometimes, so maybe it'll ease itself out. But we just have to we'll have to see what happens.
Max Garrett has given a very good comment saying the standards were slightly different then. Today's drivers are trained on PlayStations and things like that, isn't it? They're all
exactly. And also, we know how Max was taught by Jos to how to overtake in go-karting. Wouldn't have been the same back then. And he jumped from go-karts virtually. He barely did any single-seater before coming to Formula One. So he took his go-karting instinct straight to Formula, which it works in the sense of when you want to when you're in the wet conditions and you're using the go-kart lines off the racing line and so forth. That is fair enough, but like I say, some of the last-ditch moves some of them do now, it's literally suddenly come out and brake, and then or when people are defending, they'll defend right at the last second. That's all. But then again, Senna was a bit like that, and people refused to accept that he was a bit incorrect with his manners at times.
And he was saying he was still a bit messy for his first couple of seasons, though, in terms of Max.
Yes, he was.
They had a lot of accidents and a lot, but you could kind of tell where it was going, and you could tell that he had really good pace, and he would be up there eventually. He just had to kind of calm down a bit and learn the trade.
Yeah, I remember when he was in Monaco in that first season, the Toro Rosso, and he was catching everyone out with a late move into Sandoval. Very late. The trouble is, when he did it once, where someone thought. They obviously radioed him and said he's doing it late. They defended late, and he went right in the back of them. So
that was that, wasn't it? I know, that's the thing. It was quite interesting because they're saying they might have to cancel the Bahrain Grand Prix and also the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix because of the issues over there in the Middle East. And what would they use? What tracks could they use to replace it?
I would have thought it'd be too late to do anything about it.
Changes, or to try and fit it in elsewhere, I think would be very difficult to try.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But I just don't think the rounds will go ahead.
They've still got 22. Because 24 rounds is a vast amount.
Exactly.
So that's been the thing that we're still waiting on Rue to join us. I think he's eating a steak. So I think he only just finished cooking it just before the start time. but he will come in. So it'll be interesting to see what happens if they do. Simon has also put on a comment there that
Yes.
so yes, I suddenly thought we've got another viewer, but it's Simon.
No. Sorry to disappoint you there, Hugh.
Because I have realised that I forgot to put it on. We're only streaming to our horizontal stream.
The portrait one,
vertical one. Yeah, the
no.
portrait one. It normally does reach out to all the kind of shorts, but maybe eventually it will come up in their what to watch next on their YouTube channels. But no, it's great to see everybody tonight and to talk about Formula One. I mean, what was interesting, they had to have that new board at the start that said, right, we're starting in like 6 seconds. So they could build up the revs and have the power going through, wasn't it? Until suddenly they could let it go and off they went. And also when the red lights went on, 5 lights went on, and they were off in a fraction. I mean, it was 5 and straight off. It barely got on to 5, and that was it. And that that's the thing. I was trying. Max is saying I should have had the vertical. People will be scrolling through lives. Yeah, that is true. I'm trying to figure out if I can do that when we're still live on air. And I'd have to get Simon to fill in for me as I fiddle away. So, I don't know if you're up for that one, Simon. I don't know if it's if I can. Let's see, setouts there. Is there any other layouts? But I think it's not going to.
I think you would struggle to do it while you've already gone live. I think
it might struggle. It might struggle a wee bit. But I will know that for the next time. Oh, we've got a Streamlabs thing saying lights out.
Oh, lights out, away we go. Oh, there we go.
I have no idea why that's come up. But there we go. That's my kind of chatbot that must have somehow found its way into YouTube. But yes, I think we'd probably have to restart it to be able to do that. We'll do that for the next one. Because it's
but Rusty, we haven't done it since last year, Hugh.
Yes, it's so quick. I mean, it's so quick, isn't it? It finishes in the middle of December.
It's not like the old days when you finish in October and you don't get a race till March. It's now like you finish in December and you're back in beginning of March.
February for all the testing and then everything else. Although I do miss being able to go to the testing because I know that they don't do it in Barcelona anymore. That's a private test, and then it's in Bahrain, which is kind of more harder to get to. When it used to be in Spain, it was great because they had it in it was in Jerez, and I remember I went to Jerez a few times, and it was great. €10 got you in, and you could see
the same when teams did private tests. You could still go to Silverstone. I mean, how many all the testing they used to do through the season, like tire tests and things like that, and people just don't get the chance to go and see that. And how accessible. There's a video I found on YouTube of a chap who filmed it with his camcorder back in '92 before the British Grand Prix for the tire testing. They could just go anywhere. They're on the pit wall, and they were getting autographs from Mansell, all of them. Just walking up to them and walking amongst the garages. There's just access. And they run on about, we want fans to have access. Well, that's never going to get back to that.
No.
We can just walk in and just go anywhere where you want. So it's very, very exclusive these days. It's
it's a pity because in Jerez it was mobbed. I mean, I remember when we parked the car and we went in and you had to go through the kind of turnstile, and there were thousands of people there. In fact, they had a bit where all the kind of a smoking area.
It might be that they're worried for the driver's safety because of what it's got like now for social media and things like that. Because the clerk got mobbed at an airport or a hotel, didn't he? When not long ago, he was all a bit mad. A load of fans were a little bit crazy around him. So,
but I remember when Senna won in Brazil. And when he went home to his house in Brazil, in Sao Paulo, there were thousands of people that gathered outside his.
He was out on the wall waving to them.
Yeah, he was waving on it, But that was the kind of thing, wasn't it? But that was the big story, and it kind of made it something quite special. But I think it's interesting because we've got our Formula One drivers just now. I mean, they are big characters, and they are. I mean, you look at Verstappen. I mean, he's a big character behind there, and Lewis to a degree as well. I mean, although they're a lot more muted than they used to, but it's you kind of think they could make a lot more of it. And I'm not necessarily thinking about the Drive to Survive. I mean, I know it's done very well for Netflix, very well for Formula One, but I'm not sure it's more like something that you would get in the Formula One game, isn't it? The kind of the way that they do the storyline. I think if they actually if we watched again the old like the Senna videos, the Mansell videos, they were much more personable, and you actually saw who they really were in the real environment, in their kind of home environment and things like that, and what they were doing. And I think that would be much more interesting to see them out with Formula One. rather
Mansell's British Grand Prix diary from '91 when he was eating
than
cornflakes in the morning, or no,
yeah.
it's Frosties.
And
Sorry, a
Frosties,
bowl of
aye,
Frosties.
that's right. Ian's there, and he says, I'm not sponsored by them, but they were just the only thing left, wasn't it?
Yeah, the only thing left in the cupboard. Yeah,
It was brilliant. And then he went for a nap. Remember, he had
yeah,
this thing, he went for a nap.
Quick
So
nap
it's,
before
he's
off.
and that
Yeah.
was it. But I mean, those were spectacular weekends. I mean, like 91, 92. I mean, when the crowds came onto the track at the end. I mean, it was bigger than like Monza in terms of they do that now.
We were there on a Saturday in '92, and that was it was dry in the morning, but then it started to rain.
Yeah.
So it got quite wet in the afternoon. So we never saw any fantastic qualifying, unfortunately. But
yeah.
But we were at Maggots, and just seeing them drive past. As a kid, I just thought, that was the sort of, because I'd only just started watching F1 the year before. So, but being there, the smell of the petrol, the smell, everything, and the rubber, and the sound, I just couldn't quite comprehend it.
Rue thought that the Renault engine sounded kind of it was easier to kind of cope with your ears than the Ferrari, but I would disagree. I thought the Ferrari. I remember when I saw it in '93. The Ferrari had a nicer tune to it.
They were V12s, the Ferraris, and when they came past, I knew we had to go and get some earplugs. Because there was this bloke selling them out of a bin bag. For £1, like a pound in a sort of pack of earplugs. Me, my mum, and dad got them, and but the Ferraris, I could, even with the earplugs in, I could still hear them getting to him, piercing. They're just so high, and you could hear your ears are just going out. I couldn't believe it, because we were reasonably close to the track. That was a lot of the problem. So but they weren't going full pelt by the time of the afternoon, but in the morning. It was still dry, so they were still giving it some. So every time the Ferraris and even the Honda engines, they were V12. So
that's right, in the early days, wasn't it?
But when we started to go from '95, because we then had a gap, we then went to the race in '95 onwards. We sat at Beckett's, so you sat a bit further back. So even though those V12s still were, but you didn't quite notice it quite so badly. Those earplugs lasted me 4 or 5 years.
That's pretty good.
I use the same earplugs every year.
Now in '95, that's when Johnny Herbert won, wasn't it?
It was, when Damon Hill took out Schumacher,
that was.
We were watching the screen, and you just saw like, we couldn't hear Murray's commentary. You could see his hands go. I thought, I knew straight away. I was like, oh, he's taking him out.
And that was it. And they walked back. Schumacher was pretty upset. After that one, wasn't it? But
I think more the Monza one, I think he got angry about. I think the one at Silverstone, he was just like, he knew he could go straight away and say, that's his fault, But Monza, he was angry at because he came steaming up behind him. But 95 was nice to see Johnny win, because we didn't realise it, so we were trying to work it out, because obviously we had a screen there, but trying to see the writing back then, it was hard. Because the quality of the picture on the big screens weren't as good as what they are now. And we couldn't always hear the commentators because of the engines, on the speakers. So you're like, well, who's in the lead now? It took about 3 or 4 laps for us to work out. Oh, it's Johnny. Go on, Johnny.
Well, it's incredible now, because remember when you used to have the cameras on the cars, they would quite often kind of bleep out, wouldn't they? They would just fuzz out, and then you get flashes of interference quite a lot. But now, I was watching Super GT's video. I was driving the Porsche yesterday on a test, and he must have had a camera on his helmet or something like that, so you could see everything in the way it was. But it was incredible quality. It was like
says GoPros, isn't it? Yeah, it's amazing what the quality they are. Compared to what F1 was using back in, like I say, in the early '90s. Because if they went under a tunnel or even a bridge, and the bridge was like 0.2 of a second, it made the signal go.
It was something. I remember the best bit when we were watching the Grand Prix in '93 at Donington. We actually went on the bridge. I think it was the Dunlop Bridge, one of the bridges that went across the back straight.
Yeah, it's not there now.
That's the way. And because you could cross there, I mean, you weren't really supposed to stop. But because it wasn't as busy, I think, as they thought it would be because of the weather. And there was little gaps in the bridge, so you could see through. So I stopped as we were halfway across and saw the cars come under you with the sparks and all that kind of stuff. And it was amazing because they were just flying at you underneath you. And you got this great, the whole thing vibrated, as
Yeah,
the
it's a bit like
cars went
Snetterton,
by.
and Snetterton, there's a bridge, you're not supposed to stop there.
Yeah.
But you can sort of peek through it. And it's a bit like Brands Hatch, the two bridges there where you can walk over. Again, not supposed to stop, but yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting as to. I mean, I think going back to the F1 in terms of for now, they're going to get used to when they can use the battery. I think obviously these are new track, or it's all a new experience, and I wonder how quickly the teams that are quite a bit behind in terms of engine performance will catch up. Do you think there's going to be big?
Trouble is,
jumps?
the problem is, like we were talking about testing. There's hardly any testing, is there? So
Yeah.
it's all relying on like what's done in the simulator and wind tunnels, and in the factory. You can't get out on the circuit and really test what's if it's working or not. You have to wait to a race weekend. If it doesn't work, then you got to go back to the factory again.
You think? I mean, for all the cost it has, and a lot of the companies or the F1 teams are based in Britain, they could have more tests at Silverstone. You think just let them have a test?
I think I don't get the idea of going to Bahrain at all. I understand maybe because it's winter time.
But from April.
But during as we get through to the season. Yeah, most of the teams are in this country. So
F1 would make a fortune out of it. Because imagine if they said, right, it's a cut price thing, so it allows, say, at Silverstone. I mean, if it was on for a week, I mean, there'd be hundreds of thousands of people that would go to get that, I reckon, nowadays.
It's whether Silverstone could make money out of it, though, isn't it? Because they say they lose all the money out of the British Grand Prix every year. As far as I know.
Well, it's because they're charged so much by the FIA, isn't it?
Yeah.
They have to pay a fortune, like 20 million to run it or something like that. So
that's where it's all wrong. That's where it's all wrong, if you want to make it sustainable, you got to make sure the circuits are making money. Stop. I mean, certain people are making too much money out of it, and that's where it's all wrong.
If they did it cut price for the circuit so they could actually do something, I think it would be amazing. I mean, we'd all want to travel down there and see it, especially if they could do like a parade lap or something, for the crowd at the end of the say on the Saturday or something, so they get to see a practice start and a bit more, so that it would be something for the crowds to see, and then they could have other races along with it. Maybe perhaps some of the other formulas could have a race or or other things.
I do think the Friday tickets should be a lot cheaper.
The Friday tickets,
I think they should be a lot cheaper. I know they're talking about bringing it down to 2 days, but I think, again, that doesn't really help, does it?
No, because you want 3 days if you get value for money. If you're getting,
it's only practice, so God, you shouldn't be charging any more. In my opinion, it should be no more than 50 quid at the most for a general admission ticket. For an adult, 50 quid, and get the kids in free. Or
exactly.
5 quid, so
because it's usually empty. I mean, you look at China. There'll be thousands of empty seats on the back street.
It's amazing the difference, because I went with one of the local bus tour operators here, and I decided to do the week Saturday and the Sunday. So we went Saturday, left here Saturday morning. It's amazing how easy to get in and out of the place on the Saturday it is. Compared to the Sunday. Bus driver gets, we want to get here at a certain time. That's completely different. I thought, well, I do know, it is different on the Sunday. But on a Saturday, it's just so different, the number of vehicles that are there, how easy it is to park and so forth. So much easier. It's crazy, really.
Well, I'd love to know what our viewers think and what how they think how you think the season is going to progress. I wonder a little bit about reliability for Mercedes. I also wonder if Antonelli might accidentally take out George Russell here and there. You never know, because it's if he's very close. I mean, he's a good driver, very, very good. But he's not had a win yet, hasn't he? So he's kind of he's been
I'm sure at the moment he's not going to risk his chance for his seat, so he's going to do what he's told. I'd be surprised if he we'll see if he's keeps in line as such, as Toto will probably want him to do, because he's very young, and he's got plenty of time ahead of him. So if he continues to toe the line and keeps bringing in second all the while, you can't do no more than that, really.
No, he'll be happy with that. And I think as well, one of the teams that really stood out for me last year was the Haas team. And again, this year, they're not, we know Oliver Behrman's done extremely well, but Ocon wasn't too far away because last year he was a bit away from Behrman most of the season, but he was quite there. Some good battles there. And also the Audi, Bortolello did very well, I thought, in that new Audi. I mean, I know it's a rebranded Sauber, but it's showing that they've, for a new team or kind of a new takeover of a team, that they're not too far away and they're getting there. It's going to be interesting. I think it will close up over time. Maybe even over this year, we'll see. I mean, you've got to feel, of course, for poor old Aston Martin. I mean, they are in big trouble just now. I mean, it's like round number 2 for Honda for poor old Alonso.
Alonso, I think it's round number 5, isn't it? Yeah. So part of you wants to laugh, really, don't you? You think, oh, I've got Adrian Newey with me at last. Well, let's just remember he has designed a couple of dogs in the past. When he's decided to go a little bit off kilter, shall we say, and that's what he's done again. He's gone for a gamble. I don't know why they went with Honda though. I mean,
because Honda were going to pull out with Red Bull.
Yeah, exactly. Because like I said, when they went over there, they realised they laid off a load of stuff and new people there who don't know what they're doing, or had no experience. So and suddenly they're back to square one again. After after putting all the effort in, eventually getting competitive after leaving McLaren and going with Red Bull and so forth. And then they say, oh, we're going to pull out, and then change your mind. And hang on a minute, we got rid of a load of people who knew what they were doing. So we'll have to start again. But they don't say that, do they? But I think Alonso will be finished this season. That'll be it.
That'll be it done. And it's interesting. That I wonder if we could have a bet on which driver will win a Grand Prix, who hasn't won one yet, who it might be. Because it's there was quite a lot of unreliability. I mean, about 6 or 7 cars failed to finish. I wonder what I think. I wouldn't rule out potentially if it was a kind of Kimi Antonelli. Yes, that's what Max is.
That's the only one, isn't it? Because I still think Mercedes and Ferrari and McLaren have got reliability.
And even I'm thinking maybe Oliver Behrman. I just wonder, if there was a bit of a mixed-up race.
It's going to be. I think it's going to be between Kimi Antonelli, Isaac Hadjar, and Oliver Behrman, those sort of people.
But on some of these, what I liked though about Melbourne, which I never really noticed before, it's a fast circuit. Now that they got rid of a lot of those kind of dodgy, the corners that really slowed everything down, a lot of chicanes and other things, it is a really quick circuit. I mean, they absolutely fly around there. And that's what made it quite fun. Rue has joined us. Add him to the stage. Hello there. It is good to see you. Oh,
many apologies.
Yes, that's all right. I hope you enjoyed your steak. We were feeling almost hungry.
Yes, it was. Actually, it was really nice once I'd cooked it properly. I bought from Lidl. It's not Lidl, it's Lidl. Okay, for anyone out there because it's German. And I bought a steak, and it was a shin steak. And I thought, I'm interested in different cuts of meat that are cheaper and are often very tasty, because I didn't realise that if you try to cook it like a normal steak just by frying it or grilling it, it becomes like concrete. So what you have to do is you have to brown it off and then stew it, effectively braising. So I had to do that for like an hour, and then it was like, oh, here we go. But it ended up being very tasty, very tender, as long as you do that. And I made some kind of interesting mushroom and cream pasta sauce thing. And I've just ate it, and it was very tasty.
So we've been talking about who you think might win a race who hasn't won one already. If there's a bit of a kind of, because I mean, with say reliability, different things happen. If there's a few accidents and you end up with a grid that's maybe not the usual, who do you think might have a go? Max has said Isaac Hadjar or Kimi Antonelli. To be fair,
Antonelli. Yeah, Antonelli seemed to have sped up this year a bit, though he's still impetuous, isn't he? I'm trying to get this thing to do full screen for me, but it doesn't seem
I think Oliver Behrman could be one of those drivers who might, if the chance
Behrman,
because he's quick and consistent, in that Haas. And it's not looked too bad, Be an interesting one.
What do you think of that new guy, Blib Blob Blib Blab?
Oh, yeah.
I simply can't be asked. Every time I hear them say his name, all I hear is blib, blah, blib, blob, or something like that. And I'm thinking, someone's going to accuse me of something, but I don't care. It sounds like it. It just sounds like it.
Yeah, because he was good. Now, who is it? I'm just trying to think. He is driving the second Racing Bull, isn't it? You got the Racing Bull job, yeah.
Yeah. With Liam Lawson. And he sounds like he's someone who's not at all afraid of anybody else. You know, he's carving past people and smacking into them, and it's like, oh, God, we've got a nutter here. There we go. But it's quick as well. As you say, Behrman seems to be getting better. Isaac Hadjar, he annoyed me last year because it's his rookie year and he's yelling at people like Fernando Alonso, what is he doing? You know, it's like, I think just shut up, get on with driving, stop whinging. But he's the only one for a long time that's been able to, obviously not match Max, but he's close, isn't he? He's in the ballpark with the same car. Yeah, and of course, Max hates it. He hates everything, and he's quite right. Well, what the hell is it? Yeah. Peter Windsor, I think, used what I think is the best phrase for what was going on. Like when you saw all the overtaking, the so-called overtaking that was going on. And he said that, like, for example, like when George finally got past Charlotte near the beginning. And then 20 seconds later, Charles goes past him because George has used all of his minuscule battery power, and Charles got it, and he said it's a power surge pass. It's not in a braking zone. It's not cornering better. It's literally down the straight. You've now got an extra 20-30 kph because George has got his foot to the floor to charge the battery, so he's 30 kph slower.
Yeah,
I mean, it's pathetic, and all because Audi. All because the lady loves Audi without a turbocharged generator. Oh, we don't want to. No, we do not want to do this. And you know, hey man, we like the Audi. We want them to come into the sport, so we'll do anything and ruin the sport. Good job.
It could have been worse. It could have been Austin Rover. That would have been funny, wouldn't it, if it was British Leyland or Austin Rover?
Hey, don't you diss Austin Rover. They made the 6R4.
Yeah, that's true. And that was done by
and
Williams.
The TR8.
Williams did that, didn't they? Yeah, Williams did the...
Yeah. Still a hell of an engine. I mean, it powers the XJ220, for goodness sake. So it's not bad.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. I mean that's since it's been changed, since Formula One has changed its management, since Bernie went and it was all sold out to the Americans. They have tried, obviously, how many American races now do we have? And all these kind of, it's more controlled now than it's been before. And I'm not quite sure they've got the idea of how I think the European market takes to Formula One and what wants out of Formula One. So,
racing fan. Racing fan. I got sick of it a few years ago when they were manipulating races by bringing out safety cars. Yeah. Hey man, everybody wants everybody to be close together and no one knows what's going on. We're like Jeopardy. So listen, mate, you need to ditch your Webster's dictionary and you need to get a proper English dictionary and find out what Jeopardy really is. Because it's not Big Brother getting everyone drunk so they have an argument, which is what they were effectively doing. You've done 57 laps and showed your skill and got a 30-second lead and you're doing brilliantly and your strategy's fantastic and we're going to punish you for it. Mario Karts? No. Yeah. I wasn't interested. From that point onwards, I'm like, this is fixed. I don't want to watch IndyCars on tiny little circuits where they smash into each other and they can't drive. No. Yeah. I want to watch racing with skill.
Yeah.
So and now it's not even that.
Because Because by the end of last year, I mean, the racing was close. Max was doing incredibly well, winning everything, showing his skill and his superiority, really. And another racer, he would have been champion. He would have taken it off Lando. And I think they've got the cars to a really good degree. I actually quite enjoyed some of the races, because I thought it was close, it was tough. And it was kind of, they were on the edge, they were kind of on the limits of what they had been able to do with that engine and combination. Obviously, this is going to take a while, but I'm not so keen, as you say, on so much power coming from the battery. I prefer more, again, they're still run with this EU law of, they want to try and be more electric and all the rest of it, isn't it? And I think that's still, maybe in the next set of regulations, they might ease up, but it's kind of.
But nobody else on the planet does, apart from 500 idiots in Hollywood.
Yeah,
lunatics in San Francisco that have got $100 million a year coming in because of some dodgy deal. So in their gated communities and their chauffeurs and stuff like this. Yeah. I mean, it's like listening to that. I can't remember what her damn name was, but apparently she's a pop star. There's no music involved because it's all done by a computer anyway. Take my clothes off, get a computer to do it. Hey man. Who accepts some stupid award for being crap and says stolen land. Of course, the first thing everyone does is check her 20 Billy Eilish, $20 million mansion. Oh, on stolen land! Woo! Hypocrites, and they're stupid. How about a do you remember they all started buying Priuses?
Yeah, that was a big.
They get on the private jet, but they've got a Prius in.
I think Formula One is never going to be environmentally friendly. Although now they have to use those special
Formula
fuels,
One,
haven't they? Got to,
but hold on a minute. Even with the special fuel, think about this, okay? And this was pointed out by a lot of people in a lot of comments on a lot of videos I've seen. Yeah, it's really good. You got 22 cars that are now really, really environmentally friendly. Meanwhile, hundreds of millions of tons of freight a year gets flown all over the world so you can watch them race.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense for the environment. Shut up.
Yeah. I watched actually quite an interesting video with a chap from the F1. And he was saying that they simply after they were asking fans what they thought of the first Grand Prix. And many of them weren't that convinced. They were not very happy at all. And Formula One was seemingly censoring a lot of the comments. Which I think is kind of that again.
They were putting lots of complaints on X and stuff like this. Yeah.
So it's kind of and Mark's is saying, and the tires burned up as well. It was quite cold in Melbourne. That was the thing. When it was only about 13 degrees, similarly, I think, for the race day, so it wasn't that warm. So they were.
It's not necessarily warm in Melbourne. It rains there quite a lot as well, doesn't it? So it's a funny track. That very funny track.
Must be like the kind of almost going into their winter, isn't it? At that time.
Guess so.
Go back to Adelaide. I used to love that track.
Yeah, Adelaide Alive. I remember the music they used to do for the build up and the great videos they had. That was a great circuit. And Adelaide circuit was a fantastic one. How about you, Simon? What do you think overall? Do you think it's going to get more? Do you think it's going to be an exciting season, or do you think it's going to be Mercedes kind of being very dominant? Do you think Ferrari and some of the others might just be able to get a peek in there?
The trouble is, like we said, there's just not enough testing, so other teams won't be able to catch up. Not this season. Not in time. I mean, Aston Martin are done for.
Infamy.
They've all got it infamy. But I think it's going to be between Mercedes, Ferrari, and Red Bull. I still think Max has got the pace.
Yeah,
just so we haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, but I think he was just behind the Ferraris, maybe even as quick.
But like I said, define excitement, whether that will be exciting or not.
I mean, to be fair, from obviously the Williams are well out in front. Then it was the McLarens. I think who got third. Because it Piastri that was third on the qualifying, and then he crashed out at the start, didn't he, before he even came to the grid.
Oh yes, I mean,
and then I think it was it Lando Norris? I think it was fourth. And then it was the Ferraris, but the gap was in between. It was like 7 tenths, but there was about 3 cars all within about 1/10 of each other. It was that close. So I think the Ferrari, the McLaren, and the Red Bull will be right there. So it's been
But
interesting to see if
for
they
all
start
we know, with
forward.
the Mercedes, they could have just been managing things, taking it easy, and that's why they were not that far ahead. We just don't know, do we? I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah.
And Ferrari might have been really pushing as hard as they could to get to Mercedes, and Mercedes are just going, "That's all right. We're just managing this." So it's we won't know until sort of other tracks come into it and other conditions. So that's always
I'm trying
the
to
thing.
remember the Grand Prix year it was that one. It was either the Mercedes or one of the cars looked very, very strong on the first race, and they all thought, "My goodness, they were going to be blown away." And then on the second race, the Ferraris caught up, or it was very different, and it was like all of a sudden it was a bit. We realized it was a championship battle, and I wonder whether, as an optimist, maybe it might get a bit closer. Maybe that yes, they do. They might be managing things, but maybe the other teams might just make that step in putting it together right.
Hugh, it's empty. It's so fake. I mean, look, this thing about overtake, like Simon says, what's excitement? And they put out this statement, obviously trying to massage everyone. It's really good, really honest, Governor. How many extra overtakes there were in this? And my comment in that video, compared to last year, I can just near my place, there's a bridge over the A55. It's about a 20-minute walk away, and I can stand on it and see hundreds, thousands of overtakes. They happen all the time, and at no point do I wet myself with excitement because there's no actual racing going on. They're just going past each other on a dual carriageway. The M1, you can stand and watch the M1 at rush hour and watch hardly any overtakes. Lots, they all happen. 2 miles an hour. I'm going faster. They're just psychotically focusing on this word overtake as if it's a thing that's part of racing, as it's the only thing that makes racing. The why and the how, what makes Max so good is a combination of skills that he's got that allows him to do a better job in a race and get past people or stay ahead of people or qualify better than people. I was watching, there's a guy called Your Listener. I don't know if you remember. His channel is, it's good because he doesn't talk, unlike me. He shows clips and then explains the differences, and it shows all the telemetry and all this kind of stuff. And he had one where he was playing the pit radio to Oscar Piastri, where they're saying, right, for qualifying, going, right, you need to go full throttle 25 meters earlier so that when you don't do so much lift and coast, and you can go faster because you'll have more battery without doing lift and coast. And they were coaching him to within like 25 meters. Can you believe it? On the Melbourne track, to try and eat that little bit of battery power out so that he could actually have a bit of speed for a little bit more and maybe gain a tenth. What the hell has that got to do with racing or being a skillful Formula One driver, the pinnacle of motorsport? And there's all these people saying, "Oh yeah, well the same thing happened back in the turbo era before when there was fuel economy was a big problem." It wasn't quite the same because it wasn't lap to lap. It was right. We know we can't do so many laps in our car, so we need the strategy so that when our pit stops, that was a pit strategy. That's very different. So it doesn't to me. Okay, Mercedes seem to have done a much better job with their engine and their power system. And I admire that and love that about Formula One. The regulators seem intent on slamming down on anyone that does a good job like that. It all gets banned immediately. Any innovation, any step forward, ban it. Oh no, we can't have that. Oh no, you should just be the same as everybody else. Communists. Get stuffed. No, let them be clever. We're seeing it's an entertainment value thing to watch Honda once again screw up an engine. It's like, how can they not? Even when they first started with that V12 back in the 60s,
Yeah.
Didn't it burst into flames because it was made out of magnesium aluminium alloy and was sparking all over the place? It's like Honda is an incredible engineering company. Some of the bikes are amazing. I owned a Honda. I've been on many Hondas. They're amazing.
Yeah.
But they just don't seem to be able to make an engine. What's going on? But that's at least you can sort of laugh about that and go, that's interesting. That's like a bit of gossip, a bit of information. But when they get on the track, or if someone like Mercedes does a really good job, they shouldn't ban it. Everybody else should do a better job. But all right, they've done a better job. So the Mercedes came one and two. Ferrari's done this incredible job of using a much smaller turbocharger, so they have more power when they take off at the beginning. They've got all that a lot better. So Lewis and Charles went straight past a bunch of people. But there's no skill in the driving. There's no. It's. They should do one race and go, okay, them, and them, and them. That's it.
Yeah.
What's this?
I'd go over
What's
some of the pictures that we had these are from Autosport.
Is he breaking it into song?
I know it does look a little bit like that, doesn't it? Fred Vasseur, and that because they're slightly more upbeat than normal. And then we've got Lewis Hamilton, and it is good to see Lewis doing a lot better, isn't it? And kind of a bit more upbeat.
He's in a car that suits his driving style.
Yeah, a lot more kind of. That is Gasly, isn't it?
Guess the driver.
Yes, that's the one. And Bortolillo did well in the Audi. He was right up there in the top 10, battling away. But I think he's done pretty well. And there's the newlyweds. That's Charles Leclerc and his wife.
Oh,
I remember when he was so little, so young.
I think it's silly Lewis Hamilton hasn't bought him a wedding present yet. So he's all that money. It's
going to be some jewellery. A lot of jewellery that's going to weigh like 40 kilos. And he's going to say, make sure you wear it in the car. That's what he's going to do. Don't you think?
And then we've got almost didn't hear a thing from him. There's Lando Norris, the current world champion. And we hardly heard a word.
He was on the BBC. He was on the BBC Radio 5 Live podcast thing with the really irritating people and Andrew Benson, who's excellent. Jenny Gow, who's also excellent. But all the others like, please shut up. And he says, all right, but our co-host isn't here. So, but we've got the reigning world champion. I'm thinking, oh, yippee-doo. That'll be interesting.
There you go. And there's Nico Hülkenberg, who didn't have a very good race. But he didn't even make it to the start, didn't he? He had to start from the pits. And then his car, they couldn't get it started.
Did he blow up again?
Yeah, the car wouldn't go. But yeah. And that all the similarly, it takes longer to change the nose.
Look at those end plates.
Yeah, I know. It takes much longer.
Look at those end plates. Just awful.
Yeah.
Well, it's because they've got all the connections for the flaps, the flappy thing.
But don't you love it when they lose a bit if they get a bit of contact and they continue and they're just
even faster? Yeah, or even faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
But aren't a lot of those things regulatory to force the wake out to stop there being so much wake? But these cars, all these regulations, these people that and the regulations have been written by people who are not fans of motorsport, all probably not very technically astute. At least the last regulations were written by the likes of Ross Brawn and a bunch of people that are big motorsport fans. These weren't. These are not.
Yeah. And
you can tell. It's like, somebody explain to me what's going on. I like Valtteri Bottas. I've liked him when he was in Williams. But what the hell is he doing with that mullet? That bleached blonde mullet. He looks like a 1970s Finnish porn star or something. It's like, what is going on, man? He's a lovely bloke and ever so funny.
Yeah.
And fast. I mean, he is fast. And there's Sid the Sloth.
Yeah.
Max hiding in the bushes.
Yeah. No,
he doesn't want to be spotted by any more journalists to ask him any questions. I'm busy. I'm on my sim racing. It's better. And him.
Lewis has bought stuff 4 sizes too big.
Oh, no, it's cause like in it. He's now talking like this, and his eyes going down like to the disco, and I was going to be having like a bit of rocking time in it.
It does wear terrible things, I have to say. That does not look like a Ferrari outfit. I think it's really bad, actually. It looks like it's covered in oil.
What do you mean? It's got red on it?
Well, look, it looks like he's owned a Ferrari because it's covered in oil and all the bits have fallen.
He's obviously done his own.
I think he's
done his own washing this time.
He's done
his own washing this time. Yeah, he's walking home.
Oh no,
my Ferrari broke down.
Put the trousers in with the top.
Yeah. It says it looks like it's dirty. Doesn't it actually? It's clean. I mean, I know it is clean, but it looks kind of old and baggy. And there it is.
Let me see what Max has written about 70s fridge.
You know. And
who was I listening to? He was talking about him. It was like a comedy review thing. They called him.
Oh yeah.
They called him the leader of the Conservative Party.
Yeah.
Oh God! It just kind of reminds me a little bit of who's that double barrel fella with glasses? Talk through his nose.
Oh yeah, Ian Duncan's.
Oh no, not him. The one with the glasses. Very posh. Very posh.
Jacob Rees-Mogg.
Rees-Mogg, yeah. Do you imagine Jacob Rees-Mogg going motor racing and doing an interview afterwards? And they're like, Jacob Rees-Mogg in touring cars, you know, with
Arvid Lindblad. Lindblad.
Yes.
Lindblad.
Yeah. Ardman Bliblab. Yes, that's what I said.
I can see where you're coming from. Yeah, Bliblab. Arvid
Bliblab.
Arvid Lindblad.
Oh, blah, 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 blah. Hey, it's the Hulk.
Yeah.
I like Hulk. You must not hit me, Hinkley. If you do, I feel... He's so inconsistent, though, isn't he? I mean, he's so good and then so bad. And it's like, this is why it took him out till last year to get a podium.
Yeah.
I mean, surely, what was it? His first race for Williams, and he was it on pole or in the
season, wasn't it? Yeah. It was wet conditions, wasn't it? He got pole. He's never really had the car underneath him. I don't think really to.
It is true.
Fernando.
I think I said.
Fernando.
See the link. This guy was doing like an impersonation of it because of the vibration. He was going, "Oh yes, I think we're getting somewhere." When I do a pit stop,
I have a nerve damage.
Yeah,
to only go.
I got a number bum. I cannot feel my feet.
And there is
that's special. That's what made me laugh. He said, "Oh, I can only do 15 laps." And of course, Fernando comes out and says, "Well, I can only do 25." So it's like he's got to say a bit more than Lance Stroll. Otherwise, he's really bad.
You can't lose to Lance Stroll. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Similarly, poor old Lando Norris split up with his girlfriend. In fact, I think they got engaged and then they split not long after it. I think she's going after the next.
Did she leave him for Oscar Piastri?
Well, or someone who's going to be the next world champion. That so. But yeah, no, they split. Poor thing. That which must have been.
Don't forget, they've got a lovely relationship. There he is. Hello, I'm French.
Yeah,
that is why I have this outrageous accent.
So there you go. There we are. So now
Excuse me, would you like to join us? Would you like to join us for our quest for the Formula One world title? No, I've already got one. Yeah, it's very nice.
The thing is,
Charlie Pimpinel.
remember Alain Prost? He didn't like racing at Donington Park. He said, "My garden is bigger than that. It's bigger than the racetrack at Donington." And that he's like racing in his back garden. He said, "Racing at Donington."
Very gay.
Yeah.
Got a big nose, Fred. Just dissing my home area.
Yeah, no, he didn't.
His,
He didn't
his
like
nose
racing.
is bigger than Donington.
I think.
Let's put it that way.
But yeah, now the thing is, for this weekend, we've got two kind of races. Haven't we? We've got the sprint race, and it's at a lovely time in the morning for us Brits. It's 3 a.m., which is even earlier than Australia. And I thought, I might struggle to get up for that. But
China! Oh, are they going to not show Lewis Hamilton at all? You know, on the television. Well, it's in China, and generally speaking, if they've got a film, they edit out all the bits where there's black people or lesbians or gays or anything like that. So China, isn't it? And we loved it. It's fantastic. It's fantastic when they weave politics into Formula One and then go to places like Dubai, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, China, and places like that. It's fantastic. It's just wonderful.
Have you not seen those spitting image sketches yet with Lewis Hamilton?
Oh no!
Oh no! I've not seen the new spitting image. No.
I will find them and I will send them to you via WhatsApp.
Oh, that would be super. Excellent. Very funny.
That would be good. Yeah, I've not seen spitting image for years. The last time I saw anything I liked spitting image was 2D TV. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
Where they had George Bush and he was the advert for it got banned because it was their George Bush character, George W. Bush, putting a video in a toaster. I'm going to watch the video. Smoke. And there's that bit where he decides to stop missiles. He makes a blow up inflatable White House and then starts playing darts.
That's the thing.
So good.
Well, the main race on Sunday is at 7:00 for Lights Out. I'm going to be watching. I've got a Now subscription, so I'll be watching it. I'll wake up.
Did you notice how quick the lights out?
As we were saying earlier, this was as soon as it got 5 straight out.
Can I just say my lights keep dimming, so if I suddenly disappear, that will be a power cut.
Power cut.
You're not being supplied by anyone from China, are you? Who's listening in?
It's very windy outside, so it's
windy here too.
Yeah, and we had about 2 or 3 occasions where there must be some trees near lines, and they've touched them and gone, and they keep saying, "Oh, yes, I've identified we need to do something about this," and they don't do anything. So,
here's the thing:
as long as it sounds like they care, and then keep taking your money, that's all that matters.
Simon, on a slightly different note, you are near Norwich, aren't you? You're not too far away from
8 miles. Yes.
Yeah. So you're not too.
What gave it away? Was it the Canaries thing in the background, or the fact that every time you mention Norfolk, he goes, yes!
Yeah, because Alex Brundle was doing a race. He was actually doing a banger race. I think at the King's Lynn track.
Was it King's Lynn? It might have been Swaffham or King's Lynn. Yeah.
He did a video on it recently, and I thought that's not too far away from you.
The Brundles are from Norfolk.
They're from King's Lynn. Yeah, they're from King's Lynn. But I saw a video that he did, he was invited to take part in banger racing. And
I don't think he quite understood what he was taking on.
No, I mean it's rough, like it's really rough.
Banger racing. Yeah, I was like, that makes Max Verstappen and Schumacher bashing past people look really tame, doesn't it?
It's when they have a crash and they're stuck at the side of the road, they're stuck at the side of the track, and then someone comes whack straight into them at like 40 or 50 miles an hour, and you think, goodness me, that's a big impact. That's really going to hurt. But
it's funny, you can hear them all screaming, "Banzai! I kill you!"
If it was King's Lynn, that's the King's Lynn Star Speedway track.
We went there when we went down to Hemsby for a holiday, and we were on
Hemsby. Lovely.
Yeah,
that's all disappearing now, Hugh. The cliff.
They had that bit further up where the cliff was.
Is it that bit where the East Coast has been? It's not so much eroded; it's been dug up by the sea.
Where the lifesaver station was, it's basically gone. There used to be a road down there, and it's gone.
Yeah,
and the car park.
Houses go in.
Yeah, but it's awful. It's absolutely awful. There's Haysworth further around the coast on the Norfolk coast with the big lighthouse. Don't know if you remember Challenge Annika repainting the lighthouse.
Yeah,
that's Haysworth, and that's really.
I remember Challenge Annika, but I don't remember anything they did because, like everybody else, I was looking at her arse getting into a helicopter. Because it literally the only
no helicopter. And the newsreader. There was no helicopter this time. It was a buggy.
Well, I thought Challenge Annika. So what was the one where she got in the helicopter?
Treasure Hunt.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it all blends into
They were good though. They were really good. Well,
blends into the day when before Channel 4 went nuts.
Yeah.
Well, more nuts.
We'll be going for an hour. I'm going to have to stop because I have time to. I need to be watching The Apprentice
Stuff
at 9 o'clock. So
you're watching The Apprentice.
Good God!
Yes, my wife likes The Apprentice. So
you're fired.
So yes, but
you're fired. Get out.
It won't be back. It won't be back. Oh, maybe even next week, possibly. And this time,
have you seen that massive box they put Alan Sugar on?
Well, I don't have to. It's a bit like Bernie Eccleston.
Oh no, they do.
You know, they have to put him
two boxes and then do an angle where it's like they're looking up like that.
Yeah.
I'm taller than all you people. Yeah, whatever.
But
yeah, we know. You started with a fruit and veg stall. Shut up.
Yes, so we'll be back next week, and this time we will actually go. I forgot to put the vertical stream on. But thank you, everyone who's been watching, Max, and to everyone who's listening on the podcast on Podbean. You've been listening to the F1 podcast with Hugh Hatrick, Simon and Jerry, and Roo. It's been fantastic, and I'm sure the racing.
May the Schwartz be with you. Oh, that's coming back. Oh. They're making a new one.
Another one.
And it's got Mel Brooks in it, and he's like 400 years old now.
He must be. Oh yes, they are doing another one.
Yeah, they're doing another one. That's right. Fantastic. And they're also doing Firefly again, but I don't think that's going to be as good because they can't make things like that anymore. But Mel Brooks can.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. On that note, we'll end the show. Take care, everyone. Drive fast. Don't crash. Enjoy China at 3 o'clock in the morning on Saturday and 7 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. And we'll see you next week.
And look after your battery.
Bye just now.
Bye.